An 8-year-old boy playing in a Japanese village sees something that stops him dead in his tracks, a machine rolling on wheels. It was a Ford Model T, and the boy stared in absolute wonder. That single moment sparked an obsession that would change the automotive world forever. His name was Soichiro Honda, and nobody knew that decades later his name would appear on every small and large vehicle across the planet. This is the untold story of how a blacksmith's son became the founder of one of the world's greatest automotive empires. Welcome. In 1906, near Mount Fuji in a small Japanese village, Soichiro Honda was born. His father was a blacksmith who also repaired bicycles part-time. Honda's 5 siblings had already died from different diseases, so his parents had high hopes for this child. But he had no interest in studying. Instead, Honda found far more fascination in repairing bicycles with his father. When he turned 16, he saw a job advertisement in the newspaper. Art Shokai, an automobile service station in Tokyo, needed technicians. Honda wrote a letter applying for the job, and luckily, he received a positive reply. This was the moment Honda left his home and school behind and moved to Tokyo to earn a living. Honda's dream shattered when he arrived at Art Shokai. The company owner made Honda do cleaning work and even put him on babysitting duty. Honda wondered what he should do. On one hand, he had left his home and parents. On the other, he was being given useless tasks. He felt ashamed to return to his village because he didn't have the courage to face his parents. That's why for the next several months, he was forced to do these odd jobs. Shortly after, the Art Shokai owner also started letting him do workshop work. Honda had been interested in this work from the beginning, so he understood things easily. Within a few months, he had learned quite a bit about every type of vehicle and their parts. During this time, Art Shokai also built 2 racing cars. The first was the Art Daimler, and the second was the Curtiss. Both these cars were built using used engines and won first position in the Japanese Motor Championship in 1924. Honda was already a good mechanic, but in this race, he sat as an engineer alongside the driver. This was the event after which Soichiro Honda made motor racing his religion. For the next several years, he continued working at Art Shokai and kept building his experience. In 1928, at age 22, his boss decided to open another branch. This branch was to be in Hamamatsu City, and the boss sent Honda there, giving him responsibility to run it. Honda started this new Art Shokai branch with 1 worker and reached 30 workers in just 2 years. He had now become a brilliant mechanic and racing driver. Taking advantage of his expertise, he designed a racing car for his boss. This car could run at speeds of 120 kilometers per hour, breaking all previous records. This record remained Japan's highest for the next 20 years. The importance of Honda had grown immensely in the Art Shokai owner's heart. He wanted to open his own workshop, but perhaps fate didn't approve. In 1936, during racing, Honda had a terrible accident. His life was saved, but his left arm was fractured, his shoulder was dislocated, and there were several injuries on his face. He saw his life ending there. He couldn't do mechanic work, nor could he participate in racing. After several months, when he recovered, he requested the Art Shokai owner that he could no longer do repair work. Instead, he pitched the idea of starting a separate company to make spare parts. The Art Shokai stakeholders immediately rejected Honda's idea. They were already making profits, and nobody wanted to take new risks. So Honda decided to open a parts manufacturing company alone. In 1936, at age 30, he opened Tokai Seiki Heavy Industry with his friend and made his friend Shinshiro Inoue its president. They had opened the company, but Honda had no investment to run it. He worked for Art Shokai during the day, while at night he tried to make engine pistons for his new company himself. For the next several months, he followed this routine, but he couldn't achieve any success. Instead, he had become weak from continuous failures. One failure after another was blocking his path. Then he took admission in a university to gain expertise in metallurgy. In 1939, after 3 years of continuous hard work, he finally succeeded in making a piston. Now he quit his job and went full-time into making pistons. But he didn't know that his made pistons still had many flaws. He offered his pistons to Toyota Company and Toyota rejected 47 out of 50 designs. This news struck Honda like lightning because he now had no way back. He started traveling all over Japan to understand different company requirements. He went to different factories, met manufacturers. He spent the next several years understanding the market. After that, Honda once again made pistons. This time, these pistons passed all company quality controls. He started getting orders rapidly, and once again Honda saw his dreams coming true. To fulfill orders, his company even hired 2,000 workers. Honda's happiness was only a guess for a few months. Who knew that in 1941, Japan would jump into World War II, and the ministry would take control of several Japanese companies, one of which was Soichiro Honda's company. Honda was downgraded and made a junior managing director of his own company. Things got even worse when the company's workers were put into military service. The next 3 years passed in extremely difficult conditions. But in 1944, an incident happened that completely shattered Honda's hope. During an air raid, a missile directly hit Honda's factory. The entire country's situation was getting worse. Japan was losing the war. Then in 1945, 2 nuclear attacks happened that completely broke Japan's back. After this incident, Japan surrendered to the Americans. The war was now over, but Honda had lost everything. He sold his company's shares to Toyota for 450,000 yen and once again sat jobless. This situation wasn't just Honda's. All of Japan was going through a terrible crisis. The economy was melting, severe shortage of food and water, and inflation had broken everyone's back. Public transport was extremely difficult because petrol had also become scarce in Japan. During this time, Honda found a small engine from the Japanese Imperial Army that they used to run wireless radios. Forced by his habits, an idea came to him. He thought, why not attach this engine to a bicycle to solve the transport problem? This would make transport easy and also cheap, because people were already very troubled by inflation. When they saw this engine attached to a bicycle, everyone loved the idea. Honda got a few used engines, but people's demand was so high that Honda designed his own new engine. This is the first time in history that Honda's logo was seen on a machine. Honda didn't have enough money to make these bicycles on a mass level, so he wrote an open letter to 18,000 shopkeepers. People had so much faith in Honda that 3,000 shopkeepers gave him a positive reply and even paid money in advance. In the next 3 years, Honda made a motorcycle that met market requirements. This was launched under the name Super Cub, which created a sensation in the market. This model became so successful that in 1958, it left behind sales of America's own Triumph and Harley Davidson. Because Honda had a great passion for racing, he now decided to make heavy bikes. He would go to different bike races and note down the features of winning bikes. In those times, such heavy competition races were more than just races. They were marketing tools for manufacturing companies. Within a few years, Honda's first heavy bike was launched, which achieved first position in the 1962 International Racing Competition. This race made Honda's name famous all over the world. By 1960, Honda had become the world's largest motorcycle manufacturing company, and by 1968, they had sold 10 million units. After 62 years of his life passing, Soichiro Honda had finally achieved success. But the dream he had been carrying since childhood was not yet fulfilled. Honda now also wanted to go into car manufacturing. Many people tried to stop him from doing this, but he didn't listen to anyone. At that time, already companies like Nissan and Datsun had established their business in Japan. Making a new place in the market there was quite difficult. Honda launched his first pickup truck, the T360, which failed. After that, he launched the sports car S500, of which only 1,300 units were sold. After many years of hard work and dozens of designs being rejected, finally in 1972, the Honda Civic was launched. This is the car whose new models are famous all over the world even today. By 1980, Honda Motor was Japan's third largest manufacturing company, and in just 10 years, it became the world's third largest. Today, Honda's name appears on cars, motorcycles, boat engines, plane engines, and dozens of power tools. The very next year, after Civic's launch, in 1973, he took retirement from the company. And then in August 1991, this journey of his life ended forever. From an 8-year-old boy mesmerized by a Ford Model T to building a global empire that produces millions of vehicles. From cleaning floors in Tokyo to creating engines that power the world. From losing everything in World War II to rebuilding from ashes. Soichiro Honda proved that relentless passion, continuous learning, and refusing to give up can transform impossible dreams into reality. His legacy lives on every road, every racetrack, every garage across the planet. If this story of resilience and determination inspired you, subscribe now for more incredible founder stories and automotive legends. Hit the like button. Comment below which automotive pioneer you want covered next. Let's uncover more empire-building stories together.